Our world is always changing, whether it's from MySpace to Facebook, radio to television, or landlines to cell phones. Some of these changes are good. I think we can all agree that. But but there could be a lot bigger changes on the way that we're not prepared for. As I go through college, I've had some classes that have really shown me the background of the greenhouse gas effect and just scientifically how it's working and how it's affecting our environment altogether. And from this, I got really interested in our environment. And so I moved into taking an energy science minor, which has shown me viewpoints from both sides of the spectrum. There's people who don't believe that humans are affecting climate change, but there's a vast amount of people that do believe we are. And it's shown me both viewpoints and what things are happening. I like nice days outside, like I believe most of you do. I can go on bike rides, I can go play volleyball when it's those nice days out when you can just wear anything you want, and it just feels really awesome. Besides, I think we can all agree that the negative 10 blizzards outside at the 110-degree heat was not very fun. But for the most part, we really do enjoy our environment and these really nice days. But if we keep going the way we are, we won't have near as many of these nice days as we have in the past here. Today I'd like to talk to you about the greenhouse effect. I'm going to start off with scientifically how it's working, what is happening with it. Then I'm going to talk to you about the real world effects, like how this is actually being manifested within our environment. And then I'll speak on a little bit how we can help, or how we can maybe slow down the process that is happening here. First of all, to understand what is going on in the change that's taking place in our environment, I think it's really helpful to know the scientific background of what's going on. So coming down from the sun is shortwave radiation. It's really fast, high energy frequency because the energy particles will oscillate through. So these are UV rays. They come down really fast, high energy, and they hit the Earth. And as they hit the Earth, they're re-emitted back into the atmosphere, but at a much slower, less energy wavelength. This can be depicted by this graphic. If you look to your left, you'll see the infrared and microwave radiation. This is what's coming from the Earth. The visible light spectrum there is all the colors we can see, which, as you can see, is a very small portion of our whole spectrum. This is our reds, blues, greens, purples, all things like that. If we look on the left is the ultraviolet rays with these high energy, high frequency deals. A good analogy to this is I think of a puppy. You get a new puppy and they're full of energy. They run, they're bouncing wall to wall, never stop, so much endurance, and you can't imagine where they're just a big ball of energy, a loving ball of energy. And as I think of the Earth to be this like an age accelerator. If this dog goes through an age accelerator, it comes out still the same loving dog you knew before, but a little more lethargic. It moves a little slower, has less energy, kind of sits and rests for a while. And this is what I picture. I picture the Earth to be the age accelerator. You got that high energy puppy who can make it all the way from the sun to the Earth, no problem, bouncing. Whatever it hits in the atmosphere, it'll just make it through because it's energy. Never learn that. And it hits the Earth and its age accelerates. It's slower, a little more lethargic. And it keeps going. It's going to try to make it out, but it'll slow down and needs to take breaks. And you notice your dog kind of lays around, lays in your lap a lot. This is what this energy will do in the atmosphere. It'll just sit there and then it just sits in the atmosphere to take its break. And it takes a long break and it just stays there. And this is our increase in energy. And this is our increase in temperature. This is what's contributing to our increase in temperature. But there are different types of greenhouse gases. And according to NASA's Global Climate Change, their website, climate.nasa.gov, written by Lauren Tenenbaum, which is last updated on September 27, 2015. Today, there are 4 major types of greenhouse gases: water vapor, methane, nitrous oxide, and CO2. Water vapor, we can't live without water vapor. So, this is a thing we can't really overcome. But water vapor in the air, you think about a really humid day when it's just, you feel like you're just dripping. It's because it's holding in all that heat. And this is a major effect of greenhouse gases. You think methane, and nitrous oxide. Methane comes from animals or degrading landfills. Nitrous oxide is a lot of agricultural things, such as fertilizers. CO2 is the big dog that we all really know about, and coming from transportation, industry, and all these other sources such as electricity use. The biggest contributors are, there's a lot of debate on this, but natural and human caused things is the big debate. According to the IPCC's AR5 printout, which was done in September 27th, 2013, there's a 95% chance that humans are affecting climate change, at least to a degree. And now that we know a little bit of the scientific part behind this, we can now look at how this is manifesting in our real world. We can start with the ice caps. There's 3 main ice caps in the world today. Greenland has one, in the Arctic, and then Antarctica, which is split up between the east and west ice sheets. And these have been melting at a very fast rate due to warming temperatures. According to the National Snow and Ice Data Center published on September 15, 2015, between 1981 and 2010, there's been a 20% reduction. This can be shown by this graph, which shows on top the ice in the Arctic Sea in 1979, and on the bottom it shows ice in the Arctic in 2003. And you can see a dramatic drop in just quantity of ice that is there. And this, floating ice and land ice are 2 different things. Floating ice is already displacing the water that's there, while the land ice, as it melts and flows into the sea, will raise our sea levels, which is a major problem. This also increases major weather events, because as the oceans warm up, as the air warms up, we can have more water held in the air, because the warmer the air is, the more water can be held. Maybe that's why humidity doesn't happen in the winter and it does in the summer, or you really notice it. And as this happens, it evaporates more, so more drought happens, evaporating more as water can hold more. But also when it rains, it's going to pour because of how much water is being held there. And also you think of a hurricane. Hurricanes are gaining their strength by warm waters. And now if the waters are warming even more, they're going to have even more strength, and we'll have more Katrina-like events. Now we know what can happen in the real world. And this is really scary stuff, but we can't get too worked up about, because there's things we can do to help. First of all, we need to use less. Really, that's the ultimate goal of things like coal, natural gas, and oil. We need to really slow this down, which is hard to do. But turning off the lights, just different kinds of things, any little thing that can allow your life more. If we all did this collectively, it's really going to bring down our use. Better efficiency. We move with that with like our dryers, washers, refrigerators, all these things that had these Energy Star appliance things. We've had tax breaks, things like that, because they were very inefficient. Just like you take the move from incandescent light bulbs to the new style we have now. I give credit to Edison, the light bulb, great idea, but the one thing that it was highly inefficient. It's been modified to help us out a lot now, save massive amounts of energy. Next, we need to promote innovation. That's a big thing. We need more innovations like the windmill or solar panel or things like that, which really will help us out. And just promoting knowing these things or researching these things is going to save us in the future. I hope this presentation showed you a little bit about climate change and how we can help our world, and how this is affecting our own world, really. We all like those nice weather days. Like we sit outside, do whatever we want, lay in the grass. But there's going to be fewer and fewer of these days to come if we don't slow this climate change. We talked about scientifically how this is actually happening. Then we moved to the real world effects, how it's manifesting in the world. And then we went to how we can actually help to stop it. And it's, things that are changing our world is inevitable. But it's up to us how much it affects us and how much it actually changes our world.